Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are here for URL Austria highlights. Before we start with this video, I would like to just say a massive thank you to every person who watched, liked, subscribed, everything that happened in my last video as TSRO. Whoever retweeted and just supported it as much as can, I really appreciate it. But going into say, I didn't actually upload any videos since then. I've been editing this one. It's quite hard learning, to edit something that I've never, nothing like I've never done before. But yeah, this is URL. This was filmed 2 weeks ago on Saturday, so it shows that it has taken a long time just to get ready. But it is now Wednesday, so this will be going out Thursday or so. We did have Bahrain Shore a couple of days ago. I didn't do as well as I hoped. I was on for a P2, but then got damaged near the end after getting. It was my fault, but Aaron knows what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, so that was disappointing. So we came home in P4. It was a boring race, to be honest, because the last 10 laps is where it all kind of happened. Obviously, it's 57 laps, so for 47 it was just maintaining my speed really. But Austria is much more exciting. But it's a long season. I'm sure I can get those points back. So we can't really sit P2 in the championship. I'll put a official standings out at the end of this video. Just 10 points behind Auto. So to say that I got damaged and I've only 10 points behind in second place is not actually that bad. So it could have been worse. But this is a Q1, Q2, Q3 format. So Q1 we set a 3.2, which is a very good pace around here. So I was quite happy with that, especially for Q1. And if we lose the back end out of the corner when we're about to go for another, we did go for another and we actually up. As you can see, just by half a tenth. But going into here, we turned in a touch too early and we just oversteer. And then invalidate on the exit. So it was frustrating. I'd have gone quicker there, but we're sitting P1 now, so I kind of thought, that's a good pace. So we bring it back into the pits, retire from there. There's no point, setting more laps than I had to. I'd set 4 laps in that qualifying. Obviously, all the out laps and things like that did count. So we actually finished P2 in that session. Amos Lloyd actually goes 16 milliseconds quicker than us, even though he did set his lap near the end of the session. I was really happy about that. That top 4 there is probably the who is fighting for the championship. Auto, me, Thomas and Kieran, and maybe Aaron sometimes. Obviously if he does bottle it like he normally does. But onto Q2 we go out on the medium compound tyres. So we set a 4th lap to get us going. That was a terrible lap to be honest. So as you can see, already almost a 10th up after turn 1, which is crazy speed. So go purple in sector 1. So I knew I was looking really for a 3.5 on the medium compound tyres. That was my PB on here. So anything near there I think would have got me through. But already a 10th up on a 4th lap, which was very good. Just braking just before the 100 metre board on the left hand side, turning. I should have gone stayed in 3rd there for better traction as Grunton gets out of our way very nicely. Here turning just after the 50 metre board, follow around, we keep it in 5th gear. Don't take too much exit because you can invalidate there. We don't get the curb there, so that's lost us half a tenth. Airwell Charlie actually sets a 3.3, I think that says. He was on the soft compound tyres though, so already drivers going onto the softs, so that kind of shows how you're going to get through. So we opened DRS and it's been almost 2.5 tenths up, and we set a 3.7. That last sector there definitely was a couple more tenths there because I just took it very carefully. But we sit P5 at the moment. Good to know that we were quickest on the mediums out of anyone in the whole session by like a 10th as well, so that's very good, as Bottas actually does set the quickest lap time on the soft. So it is kind of probably going to be, if you want to get into Q3, we're probably going to have to set a lap on the soft compound tyres. So my plan did go out the window. I really wanted to set a lap on the medium compound tyres and get through, but we carry on. It was, sitting in PA, I was very nervous and I just thought I'm not going to risk it. So we got onto our soft lap 25 seconds to go, which is probably the worst idea. Brake just at 100 metre board and we're invalid. So that means we are probably out of qualifying. I was hoping I was in P8 at the moment, so I'm hoping that no one would improve, but it was kind of looking like we would be out. And you can see I was very frustrated, not carrying on with the lap just because I knew there was no point, even though I probably would have improved and gone up to the top 3. But very frustrating as Amos Lloyd does go quicker, so we're in P10 at the moment. Kieran actually does go quicker than us, so that puts us down, which is very frustrating. But we continue. Yeah, not annoyed because I know I can get back into it, but we'll have to go again. So we actually finished in P14 there. My .5 would have got me through safely. So it just shows that, you know, this track, a tenth here is probably about 4/10 in like a normal length track, because it's one of the shortest on the calendars, obviously, except the short tracks like Bahrain, etc, etc. So yeah, from going from P1 into in Q1 all the way down to P14 just shows that the full qualifying format can, you know, catch you out. But it was an advantage. Basically around Austria, soft medium is very hard, your tyres do go, but if you have fresh softs and fresh mediums like I have here, it's much easier, and you can take those extra 2-3 laps. And when the runners up front, obviously they've done their soft laps on the Q2, I've got older tyres than me, so it's the matter of a couple laps can get you through the race, and that's what I was hoping for. Obviously the main thing I didn't want was damage. I didn't want to spin and be 20 seconds behind before turn 1. You know, Austria you can overtake, and I knew that going into that, so medium soft strategy. If I can stay with the leaders, get through the traffic, stay with the leaders in the first 10 laps, then I'll take that any day. And that can really put me in a good position, maybe even a top 5 I would take after the poor qualifying. But on the formation lap now, back to line up on the grid. We've got the 11th, 12th, 13th, and then us on mediums. So probably first 5 laps, my aim was just to get past the medium runners, be the quickest medium runner, and then take, you know, then start getting into the softs when they start wearing out. So just sitting on the grid here, waiting for everyone to ready up. So we've got Harvey and Lewis to ready up still. So there we are. So I had to get a good start to try and get back up into the top 5. As we go, we get a good a bit of wheel spin off the start, and we get hit actually. Someone got a drive through. I think that was Bendy Leeds got a drive through, which actually surprised me a lot, as there's a bit of damage into turn 1. So we take the inside line, and we get a couple positions off there. We got the AlphaTauri who did jump start on our left side, and he actually just squeezed us, and we have to go on the grass, and we do leave room. We broke a bit too early here, as Crunton makes a really good move around the outside, so we give him enough room. But I didn't get any damage. I got hit. I thought I would have got 5 seconds or something, but I didn't. So it was mainly about just staying in the medium runners slipstream. As you can see, we're so much late on the brakes in Crunton. Thinking about going around the outside there, but it just didn't open up for us. So we just slot in behind them. It was going to be hard to get past everyone, because obviously they're going to have DRS and slipstream. As we have Evo going wide because he has damage from Bendy, so they're going to go side by side. I'm just going to sit back, and we actually, Crunton does get past, and we're going to attack Evo. We know he has damage, so we're going to go around the outside, and I think he pulls out of this one, and he does. He didn't want to go side by side with damage. Very smart there from him. Kieran actually leads the way. He did get pole, so you expect him to dominate this race. He had much better pace than anyone really at the front. No offense to people at the front, but you see the gap he's already got on the start finish straight, and that just shows. So staying behind Crunton now. We might even have a look at him now, and we do use a bit of overtake. We're going down the inside, just leave him enough room on the outside line, and he doesn't fight that, which was quite smart from him. Actually, main thing about this race, which I was really surprised about, as you see, I will get a penalty. Yeah, here. So I actually got a penalty on lap 2 as well. So this was my second penalty, not penalty, warning, sorry. And I actually went the whole race without getting another one. So I thought I was quite happy about that, you know, getting from lap 4 to 2 warnings and not even getting another one for the whole race. And I'm overtaking. So a virtual safety car did pop out. I don't know what it was for. Sometimes they come out for like the smallest amount of contact. But it's lap 7, so we've got past the medium runners, which was very good. And we actually have a golden panda here. He gets a bad exit, and we go around the outside, cover the inside, and that's a nice move with DRS and slipstream. As we look here, the leaders are all in one pack, so I knew a top 5 was on here. You know, normally if it would be like the likes of Japan, things like that, they would have been halfway around the track already. So it was great to see that the leaders are not getting away, so I could just slowly get up the field, and I could still be near him, like 5 seconds, 7 seconds behind him, and get a top 5. So the top 5 was still on. We have Freddy Boy next. I think he is an FRT, so we have to get past him. As Aaron makes a really early pit stop, I don't know why he did. We're going to look for the inside line. He had no DRS, so we're only going to use a little bit of overtake. We're going to look left there, side by side, good battling, leaving both drivers enough room. We just broke a touch later than him, and then we just get him covered off, and it was a good move, leave him enough room as those two are going to fight. So, had to get to the back of AOR Charlie now. Great to see him back on racing. Obviously, he's been commentating. Last time you've probably seen that name in a race is 2017. So it's great to see him racing again. And we had to get past it. He has a bad exit. And we actually got wheel spin as well, but the medium runners are just so much fresher. So we make a simple move round the outside, cover him off. He's not going to fight us. He knows, how to race properly. So that's great to see again. So we got Lewis ahead of us. Those two have got penalties as well. So it's good that people are starting to rack up the penalties. I know, just maintaining my 2 warnings. Lewis actually gets a really bad exit here, so we get the slipstream DRS and use a lot of our ERS to get past. ERS is very hard to save here, so it is kind of hard, to get past people. We brake just enough later than him to make the corner, and he actually braked so much later. He actually broke early, and then he said to me he broke early and then released the brakes, so he just carried on. So that's a bit weird, but lap 13, and we are with the championship leader. Look at Auto just ahead of us. So our pace was actually really good. As we're going to look at a strange pace, we're going to go down the inside of Westy. That's a very strange pace to overtake, and we did it. Yeah, I was kind of out of the blue, that overtake. So we got Auto ahead of us now. So lap 13, we've already caught the leaders when we've gone from P14. So, throughout the season, I know I've got the pace on people. It's just going to have to be the consistency. So, yeah, we're going to look at Auto now. We're going to try and size him up for the move. I was surprised he didn't pit here, but I think his teammate were in the Ferrari with Kieran. So that's the leader right there. Kieran is the leader. So, to say we're close behind him, what, 4 seconds? I think that's, really good. So, Auto really struggling on his soft compound tyres. We're going to look for the overtake. Gets such a better exit. He goes wide. I think he gets a warning for that. We're going to open DRS. Didn't really battle us much, but I don't expect him to. I was in his party. And he was like, I can't battle you, I haven't got the grip to do it. So now it was about getting away. I knew Auto was going to pit to respond to his teammate. So now it was to put in the laps. So we go to lap 20, 16 laps left in the Grand Prix. And we are going to pit. So I saw this as the perfect area to pit. The only problem was Kieran actually, because he's on fresh mediums, and 68% old mediums I was on. He actually caught a good 8 seconds on me. So the difference between me and him is 8 seconds, but I knew he would have won the race whatever happened. So it's mainly me just focusing on getting back up to the top 5. So lap 20, absolute perfect area to pit. This is where I wanted to get to. Some fresh, clean softs are going to go on. So we're just going to go full to the end. Isaac, for some reason, pits. My teammate actually pits as well, which was very strange. I don't know if you realised. But now it was just focusing on getting past this group. If you look at the bottom left, you can see the massive group. You got Racing Point, Ferrari. I don't think that's Ferrari, Alfa Romeo, or whoever. Charlie. I wanted to get past them. I wanted to get out ahead of them because I knew that I would be able to catch Westy, Amos Lloyd, FRT Auto, and then Kieran, hopefully, if I got past him. Should we come out in P4? I thought I would be back in P10, so I was shocked at this point that, I managed to keep good pace on really, really old mediums. And P4 right now, I would be happy to sit here and just take that. So we got Sync Westy ahead of us. We actually catch him quite quickly. Actually weren't quickly, but for 9 seconds, that the difference was a second a lap. If you think about it, that's quite a lot. So it's lap 29 now. So this was actually for the podium, because Auto actually put on the hard. So this was for the podium position. So we had to try and get past as soon as possible. And he did have a penalty, but my main focus was on Amos Lloyd. He actually got a penalty too. So I wanted to get in 3 seconds after him. So this could be a P2 here. If we get past Westy quite quickly, then we're going to be able to get on this second place, and that would help us in the race. So we're going to size Westy up. He kind of goes defensively, tries to break as late as possible, and he goes a touch wide on the curb. But obviously you're allowed to do that. And whatever happened, I was going to have DRS. So we actually run out of ERS. So we're going to look for the outside line. He breaks a touch later than us, but we're still going to look around the outside. We're going to try and get on the brake accelerator early, which we do, and we actually go side by side, so it's a total drag race. Somehow we're not quicker than them, even we've got DRS. So We're going to stay on the outside. We're going to brake as late as possible so we can have the outside line. And I turned in, and I don't know if he turned left. But he actually... I don't know what happens. You can see his front wing. So this is on board with his POV. Sorry about the loud music. I turned that down mid-recording. But I had so much more pace than him, and I'm surprised. I think the thing I was most annoyed about is how much he fought against me. He has a 3-second penalty. I have nothing. I'm on fresh softs. He's on old mediums. So thinking about it, I was a bit angry afterwards. I was like, you know, what are you doing? Why are you fighting so much when I'm on the fresh softs and you're on old mediums? Got a 3-second penalty and auto chasing you around, much behind. But I actually, on my screen, I thought I had him covered, so I turned in. I actually broke as late as possible. But in the end, I'll put the steward report up at the end. I can't remember what happened. But honestly, at that moment, I thought, number one, I don't know why you would fight me. It actually hurt his race because he got caught for more and overtook. You know, when you're fighting someone, the worst outcome is you're going to get damaged or retire. I was going to get past next lap whenever. You know, why would you fight me that long? But, you know, I apologise to him, he apologised to me, we're all good. It doesn't matter, you know, it's just strange. I don't know why he fought so much. So, Amos Lloyd actually pits. So this was the most key area of the race. As you can see, I'm 4.9 seconds behind Kieran. He gets a 3-second penalty. He is the leader. He is winning this race. Sint Westie's 1.5 seconds back. He's going to drop more. Auto's 8 seconds back. Lewis is 8 seconds back with penalties. We're the only person in this whole race that didn't have a penalty at this stage. If we could get in 3 seconds of Kieran, we've won this race. But the Shrew report, obviously, that's going to have something in my mind. That's what I was thinking of. I'm probably going to get a penalty. He might get a penalty. It might go either way, you know, so close to an instant. So Kieran, you know, we're catching him a lot. And we go on the last lap. Look at the difference. 3.1. I actually went back on the stream. Crunton, it was a lap car, was actually in his DRS. So he was giving Kieran DRS. And you can see the Renault there with him. So obviously that's allowed. I'm sure he was just unlapping himself. There was nothing that went on there. I wasn't angry about that. I was just, you know, it's frustrating that I've gone from P14 to P2. I had a chance at P1, and there was a lap car giving him DRS. So you can see down the straight he is catching. He caught two tenths from that lap. So here I looked at my tyres. I'm just going to push so much. As you can see, I'm low on fuel. I'm low on the ERS, and yeah, it's going to be so close. So it's 3.1. It's just dawdling on that 3.1 free flat area, and I was just hoping. I was pushing so much here just to get past, and it was going to come right down to the wires. It's 3.1. Look, it's dropping as we speak. So coming into here, we give it our all. We don't want to get a penalty because that ruins the chances. So here, it's 3.1, and I knew I didn't have it. So we come across the line, and it was closer than I thought. 0.086 of a second, a tenth, sorry. And at that moment, I was so frustrated. But at the end of the day, 9.6, sorry, I thought I saw 8.6. At the end of the day, P14 to P1, overtaking what? Quick maths, 12 runners. I passed GCSE, so no one say that about in the comments. Yeah, so P14 to P2. That's the race done. Driver of the day. I would be annoyed if I went driver of the day. So yes, I'm happy with that race. We actually do get a penalty for the incident with Westie. We get a 3-second penalty, which actually doesn't affect our position. So that is our race. Here in the standings, obviously Bahrain Short is on there. That didn't mean anything. It didn't film well. I would have made a video out of it. It was a very boring race. So we're actually P2 in the championship. 7. It says 7, but it's actually 10 points behind. We got damaged, like I explained earlier. Before I finish off this video, I would like to say a huge thank you to FRT Auto. All his Twitter, his Instagram will be in the description. So please check him out. He made me a banner, a logo, and the thumbnail for this video. With actually a great price, so I mean, it means a lot for me, for him to do that. He loves doing it. You can see all this work on his Twitter and his Instagram, so it'll be in the description down below. So before I end this video, again, thank you so much for watching. Even if this doesn't do as well as the previous video, it's still so much fun to make it. And I will see you all in the next video.